Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a really profound philosophy of life, preservation, and the environment. And we're going to look at this through the lens of an absolutely incredible community, the Pipipã indigenous people from Aldeia Pedrotinadita down in Brazil. Just take a second to really appreciate the striking body graphics here, the traditional grafismo corporal, the intricate adornments, and that magnificent feathered headdress, the cocar. You know, in indigenous cultures, and especially for the Pipipã, these aren't just decorations. These lines and patterns are a living, breathing language. They're literally a physical map of the relationship with nature. So, for all you students and curious minds out there who really care about the future of our planet, you're in for a treat, because the Pipipã offer an absolute masterclass in what it means to actually protect our world.
Now, this quote right here just cuts through all the noise of our modern lives. The great responsibility of each generation is to ensure that the world does not fall apart. That's straight from the Pipipã elders. Talk about a powerful perspective, right? It's heavy, but man, is it grounding. Because when we talk about environmental concerns today, we kind of get lost in data and abstract policies. But for the Pipipã, planetary preservation is deeply personal, it is entirely generational. It's an inherited duty. They don't look at the world as something to just blindly consume. They see it as a fragile structure, one that requires active, daily maintenance so it literally doesn't unravel for the people coming next.
Parte 1. A arte dos Pipipã, muito além da estética. Or in English, the art of the Pipipã, far beyond aesthetics. Parte 2. O mundo comum, a filosofia na prática, the common world, philosophy in practice.
Okay, so here is the core definition we really need to wrap our heads around. Back in the mid-20th century, the philosopher Hannah Arendt coined this term, the common world. And she defined it as a public space, a shared reality that exists long before we're born and is going to stick around long after we're gone. But here's the crucial part. This common world isn't just the physical earth, the trees and the rivers. It's the cultural and social space that we all share. And because it outlasts us, it relies entirely on us for its upkeep. Think of it like we're all just temporary caretakers of a permanent space. If we don't actively maintain it, well, it decays.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how the Pipipã put Arendt's philosophy into action. The way to preserve this common world isn't just through physical labor out in the fields, it's through teaching. Just look at the deep interaction between the Pipipã elders and the youth. For Arendt, and absolutely for the Pipipã, you cannot preserve the world if you don't talk about it. It's that simple. The act of sharing knowledge, of passing down stories about the land, explaining what the cocar or the body graphics actually mean, that is the exact mechanism that sustains our shared reality. It's the glue keeping the world from falling apart.
Parte 3. O diálogo entre gerações, o elo vital. The dialogue between generations, the vital link.
So think about the elders acting as an anchor point for a community. They're actively transmitting the survival codes of the planet. On one hand, we have the past. This is the wisdom of those elders, the deep-rooted traditions, and the environmental knowledge that has kept this community thriving for centuries. Then, on the other hand, we have the future. That's the active construction of tomorrow by the youth. But the elders, they're the necessary bridge between the two. Because without that anchor to the past, the youth have no foundation. They have no blueprint for how to interact with nature without destroying it. We absolutely need the wisdom of the past to build a sustainable future.
Let's actually break down why this dialogue is so incredibly critical. First off, it's not just politeness. When an elder speaks to a younger person in the Pipipã village, they aren't just making casual small talk. Secondly, it's a profoundly educational and social act. The older generation is stepping up to their core responsibility to help humanity flourish. And finally, this specific act of teaching, it's exactly what guarantees the preservation of both the culture and the physical planet itself. Because think about it, if the teaching stops, the culture vanishes. And if the culture vanishes, all that deep respect and those protective practices for the environment, they vanish right along with it. The two are completely interconnected.
Parte 4. A missão dos jovens, proteger o planeta. The mission of the youth, protecting the planet. Now for all the students and young folks tuning in right now, pay close attention to the energy of the younger Pipipã generation. The elders have done their part, right? They've held on to the knowledge and passed it down. But the heavy lifting of tomorrow, that belongs entirely to the youth. Young people are the ones responsible for building the future and protecting our planet. And yeah, that is a massive responsibility. But honestly, it's a really empowering one too. That common world we were just talking about is quite literally in your hands. The Pipipã youth, they get it. They understand that protecting the planet isn't just some weekend hobby. It's the ultimate requirement for their culture to even survive.
We should absolutely all be taking notes from this level of dedication and ownership.
And all of this brings us to one incredibly important question. What legacy do we want to leave for new generations? Are we actually stepping up as responsible caretakers of the common world, or are we just letting it fall apart on our watch? You know, whether you're a student just starting out or an elder in your own community, the big takeaway from the Pipipã is that every single one of us has a role to play in this chain. The legacy we leave isn't just about the physical things we build, it's what we preserve, what we teach, and ultimately, the health of the earth that we leave behind us.
The wisdom we've unpacked today is absolutely essential, but the crazy thing is, it still remains unseen by so much of the wider world. But hey, we can work together to change that. Make sure you subscribe to the Brazil Cultura Invisível channel so we can keep elevating the voices and the incredible culture of indigenous peoples. Their knowledge is literally a blueprint for our survival. Keep learning, keep asking those big questions, because at the end of the day, if we fail to learn from the original protectors of this common world, what kind of world is even going to be left for us to inherit?